into it. So Shannon Sharpe, man, this past 12 months for Shannon Sharpe has been insane because we talked about the lawsuit that he settled, the $50 million lawsuit he settled with Gabby, retired her. Congratulations to Gabby for that. I guess, I don't know. Then recently a lawsuit against him was dismissed, a defamation lawsuit by Miss Tillman. Miss J. Tillman was dismissed and she seems satisfied with it. Shannon seems satisfied with it and said he didn't pay her a dime. Allegedly, I don't know how that worked out. Now we had this other lawsuit that Shannon Sharpe was mentioned in along with Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was a bigger factor in this lawsuit than Shannon Sharpe was, but Shannon Sharpe was mentioned and Joy Taylor was another person mentioned in this lawsuit against FS1 and several people who worked there. If you remember, we discussed this. Miss Faraji, she worked with Joy Taylor. She actually was working in LA. She met Joy Taylor. They became friends. Joy Taylor started to work her way up through the ranks. And then Miss Faraji, being a hairdresser, she started working for Joy Taylor at FS1. And then she got to work with other people like Colin Cowherd. And then eventually Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, helping doing makeup and lots of other things. Apparently, Miss Faraji ended up having some type of weird workplace relationship with Skip Bayless that may have went too far. It was alleged that Skip was trying to pay her lots and lots of money to be his somewhat girlfriend or whatever. We don't know. And then during this lawsuit, it was also alleged that Joy Taylor was basically telling Miss Faraji, hey, do what you got to do. I'm going to be over here sleeping my way to the top and using whatever power I have. And that later, if something goes down, I can just say, hey guys, I was a victim. Yeah. What? It's alleged that Joy Taylor said that. So now it's looking like this lawsuit that Miss Faraji filed was dismissed. So we're going to check it out and see what the story is here. And we're actually going to hear from Joy Taylor now that Joy Taylor, as we know, has been let go. Some people want to say fired, but her contract wasn't renewed, which to me is being fired. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. FS1 accuser files request for dismissal in workplace misconduct case against Joy Taylor, Skip Bayless, and FS1. Fox was mentioned in this too. The request was shot down by a judge last week, seemingly due to legal technicality, meaning the case is still technically ongoing, but it looks like either she settled or she's happy with the resolution that they came to. So what happened? The bombshell lawsuit alleging several instances of workplace misconduct at Fox Sports may soon come to an end. Miss Faraji and Faraji, the FS1 hairstylist that accused former Undisputed host Skip Bayless of numerous instances of, we'll say, harassment, and former Speak host Joy Taylor of harassment on ethnic grounds, filed a request to dismiss the lawsuit in LA Superior Court earlier this month. That request was shot down by a judge last week, seemingly due to a legal technicality, meaning the case is still technically ongoing. However, the fact that Faraji has filed a request for dismissal to begin with would seem to indicate a settlement is imminent and probably most likely has happened. All right. The filing comes 1 month after former FS1 talent Julie Stewart-Binks settled a similar lawsuit filed after Faraji's that alleged former Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon, who is also a defendant in the Faraji case, groped and forcibly kissed her during a meeting in a hotel room. How are you meeting with another guy in a hotel room? Anyway, Dixon was let go by the network in April. We knew this was going to happen. We called it, we predicted it, and it happened months after both lawsuits were filed. His lawyer pointed to a freelance agreement by the networking involving his wife as the reason for his departure and continued to deny the inappropriate conduct.
Stop the cap.
Charlie, we know why they let you go. Come on, man. Front Office Sports first reported that Joy Taylor, Skip Bayless, and Charlie Dixon were in settlement talks with Faraji back in April. Should a settlement be reached soon, it'll be the final chapter in a months-long saga that has cast a pox on the workplace culture of Fox Sports. And I mean, if you look at Fox Sports now, there is nobody there. It's literally just Colin Cowherd's show, and that's it. They've got Colin Cowherd, they've got Nick Wright, they've got Wiles, and they've got Chris Bouchard. And that's pretty much it at Fox right now. They got rid of almost everybody else, and specifically everyone who was mentioned in this lawsuit, except Colin, because Faraji said, oh, Colin was very nice to me. She took time to point out that Colin Cowherd was a nice guy, and she never had any issues with him. But FS1 recently overhauled its weekday programming lineup, canceling Joy Taylor's show, among several other moves. With Joy Taylor's departure, none of the individuals implicated in Faraji's lawsuit remain at the network. So she got them all fired. Well, as a result of that, Joy Taylor is now speaking out, and let's see what she had to say about being let go. Okay, she was on a podcast with Billy Bush, on his podcast titled Hot Mics. I'll leave the link to the full video in the description. Let's see what Joy has to say.
And the mics are hot with Joy Taylor. There she is. Joy, we've been waiting for you. Thanks for waiting for us.
No, we haven't.
We'll tell the world we had some technical difficulties, and you've been nothing but accommodating and sweet, and we appreciate it.
We have not been waiting.
It's no problem.
Joy.
That's how it goes. You know, we're all relying on these internets to work, and they do and they don't. But we made it happen. I'm happy to be here.
It's good to see you. Everybody's talking about you, Joy. How does it? I know what that's like. I've had my moment in the barrel.
A familiar feeling.
Yikes.
Well, how does it feel? I think if it was on my own terms, you know, it always feels better to be talked about for something that you want to be talked about for. I guess when you're in this business and you're front facing, you know, what's the saying, like, no press is bad press. I don't know if I really agree with that. But it's been an interesting 6 months. I'll say that.
I'll say this, you know, I study a bit of Stoic philosophy. It's one of the things I picked up when the world I felt like it turned its back on me, and I felt like I was down. And by the way, nobody goes unscathed, especially in our business, Joy. I think everybody is you're up, and everybody's gonna be down, and maybe all the way down, and you hope it's just a little down or whatever it is, but everybody's gonna go through something. Nobody goes unscathed, and it isn't. When I marvel
but was she wrong?
As somebody a little older than you is, you know, it's not what happens, because terrible things happen. It's how you react to it. And from my vantage point, I think you've reacted beautifully. I'm watching you handle yourself with poise. I watched you with my old friend Rachel Lindsay.
She hasn't done anything.
On her podcast,
She's
Van,
fine.
and I thought, wow, yeah, you're taking it. You said some things that really got my attention, and you said, "I'm a gangster. I'm vengeful. I'm vengeful. I'm taking notes. I don't forget." I really like that.
Joy needs to sit down, man. Her time's over.
You know, Billy, like you said, like everybody has their day in the sun, so to speak, right? And you wonder how you'll react when it's your turn. And then sometimes you watch other people go through different things. And, you know, we're human beings, so we judge, we can't help it. But I think also it's smart to just evaluate how things are handled. And to me, you know, for a variety of reasons, it just doesn't make sense to make things worse by crashing out. You know, I mean, it's very tempting, obviously, and I fully understand why people do it. But I've never been an emotionally reactive person. Whenever anything happens to me in my life, private or publicly, I like to let it happen and then assess the situation and then decide how I'm going to react to it, because you can make permanent decisions off of temporary emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it may seem fair to you in the moment to lash out or to say something, you know, to make yourself feel better, you can absolutely make it worse. And silence is a way to handle things as well. And some people may perceive it as you have nothing to say to defend yourself. But you're never going to convince everybody of anything. And for me, I mean, do not mistake. It's been a journey, and you know, I've been held back by people in my life for sure at moments. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I've just been a pillar of poise throughout the entire past 6 months. But thank you, and yeah. I think that in the end, I will have my say, and I'll have made the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, Joy, that's nice, but let's be clear. I wish Joy all the best, and I hope she finds her way in whatever she decides to do. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Nobody wants to hear from Joy Taylor. unless she just takes a completely different route in the space that she was in, we don't care, Joy. We don't care about your opinion. There's a reason she was let go. There's a reason she wasn't on the other shows. There's a reason she got a chance on Undisputed to begin with. And we've heard from multiple sources what that reason was. I'm going to let that be. I think there's only one path forward for Joy, and I'm not going to mention it on this show because I've already mentioned it too much. Her podcast, not doing great. People don't watch it. She's revamping, trying to do different things. I don't know. It might be time to find another route. But again, who am I to judge? I mean, I'm just whatever. I'm doing my thing over here. Y'all let me know what you think about Joy Taylor in this. Looks like Shannon Sharp dodged another bullet from being involved in another lawsuit. I'll be interested to know and see from y'all what you think about this lawsuit being dismissed. Who paid the most? Was it Fox? Was it Joy? Was it Shannon? No, Shannon didn't pay anything. Was it Skip? And how's Joy going to recover for this? Because this is the face of definitely someone who's confident about their future. Let me know what y'all think.